This is the Rambla in Barcelona, just by the covered market. These are the walking streets that are part supermarket, part street theater, part restaurant, and part just promenade. And sooner or later, every visitor to Barcelona comes to the Rambla. But if they're a poker player or a poker fan, sooner or later they'll walk to the end of the Rambla and reach the harbor, turn left, find the Olympic Marina and the Grand Casino in Barcelona, which is home to the PartyPoker.com World Heads Up Poker Championship 2005. I'm Mike Carlson. The championship's been going on for a week. We've whittled down a field of 128 players to just 4. It's semifinals today, and both semifinals will be taking place in our studio under the lights. You'll see every card, you'll see every bet. So two very different matchups, different atmosphere, different styles, but the same importance. The losers get 20,000 euros and go home. The winners advance to the final and a chance at the 100,000 euro first prize. If you're new to poker, the lowest hand is a high card. A king in this case. One pair beats a high card. Two pair beats one pair. Three of a kind, also known as a set or trips. Trip eights here beats two pair. 5 cards in numerical sequence, regardless of suit, is a straight. Any 5 cards of the same suit is a flush, which beats a straight. A full house is 3 of a kind plus a pair. 4 of a kind, like these 4 aces, beats a full house. 5 cards in numerical order in the same suit is a straight flush. Make that straight flush ace high, and it's a royal flush, the highest hand in poker. The game is No Limit Texas Hold'em. Each player is dealt 2 cards face down called their hole cards. A round of betting follows. Then 3 community cards called the flop are dealt face up in the middle of the board. The flop is followed by a second round of betting, then a 4th community card. The turn is also dealt face up. The turn is followed by a 3rd round of betting. Then comes the final community card, the river. Each player uses his hole cards and the community cards to make his best 5-card poker hand. And remember, it's no limit, so a player can go all in betting all his chips at any time. The players start with 160,000 in chips for this semifinal, and the blinds, 1,500 and 3,000. The player on the button, the nominal dealer, puts in the small blind. The other player puts in the big blind. The small blind is the first player to speak. And since the pots have gone up to 160,000, we've added the 5,000 chip. That's a black chip. John Falconer is on the left. The button you see in front of him. On his right, Simon Noab facing you and the camera. He's on the right. And John Falconer will be first to speak. And he calls with a Jack-6, pocket 7s for Simon.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see. I think they'll take it very seriously, to be honest with you. They both want the title, so, you know, might be a bit of chit-chat backwards and forwards, but they'll take it seriously, the play. Or not. But I think they will.
Well, it's almost hard to resist once you actually sit down at the table with the chips in front of you.
Once they get once they get into the game, I think there'll be quite a bit of chit chat, and neither of them will be tense. They're both pretty relaxed, but they'll be playing to win.
And speaking of tents, there's a pair of tens out on the table.
So good.
And John folds after the bet from Simon Noab. So he wins the first pot with the pocket sevens.
Yeah, I mean, John's looking at him, and but really he's not feeling too tense about the situation. There's John's player profile. 49 years old, Great Britain, playing for 20 years, 30 tournament wins, and his biggest win, as you can see there, is 117,000.
So this would just about match that were he to win it. Simon Noab, also from Burnley in the north of England, but he's not called Burnley Simon. John is called Burnley John. He's called The Edge, Simon The Edge Noab, and he said John gave him that name because he always had the edge on him.
Here come the substitutes. We had someone meeting us, my brother-in-law meeting us, so we just turned
10 and a
up
4
outside
from
and
Simon. He
presented
calls, which means makes up the blind, and John will bet. And Simon calls him. John with a king and a queen making that bet. 8, deuce, and jack.
No immediate help for either end, so we'll probably see the turn card.
They check back and forth. Turn card is a 7.
That gives Simon a 9 for an inside straight, but John's still in the lead, obviously, with the 2 high cards. There's a queen on the river. So, yep, John just shows him the queen on the river. Didn't want to take too many chances. 3 diamonds have come now, so he said, okay, have a look at that, and they both smile.
So are these guys likely to have played a lot simply as practice with each other?
They'll know each other's styles, and like I said earlier on, it's contrasting styles really. John tends to play the cards, as you can see there, which are the high cards, and Simon, pretty enigmatic Simon is. He's a lot different style player, so we don't know.
We saw yesterday in his
Get up on
quarterfinal
stand,
match
stand
against
call.
Peter Abella, once he sort of seemed to figure out Peter, he was willing to play almost anything.
Yeah, I think Peter was probably a bit phased by him towards the end. He got him making 1 or 2 mistakes. I don't think John will make the same mistakes. John will be looking to trap Simon with better quality hands, and Simon will be looking to outplay him with weaker
came to
cards.
support
Probably
you.
that's the way this one's going to go. But
Instead, you're
we'll
supporting
see.
us.
And there's the chips you mentioned.
Did you really?
3 colour chips now, tricolours. We've got the greens, green and white, red and white, or red and black, and the blacks themselves, which are the higher value ones now.
Garlic win.
Third hand now. Five and a 7. John calls. Simon's got a queen and 3. He checks, so we'll see a flop.
Here is the flop. 4, 9 and 10, and they're all diamonds. Simon with 1 small diamond in his hand, and obviously John no diamonds, as he's showing you there.
So they both check. Here comes the turn. Sorry, I'm 1 card behind.
You'll catch up, Mike. It's no
Where'd
big
that
deal.
turn? Where did that turn come
Who
from?
pinched the turn?
Pair of 7s for John.
2 9s on the board, gives him 9s and 7s. And Simon's just looking, he's thinking, oh, look at, are you, mate? Are you trying to run one by me? I think Simon knows John won't run much by me.
Who could resist that smile?
He says, oh, go on, just to keep you honest. I don't think, well, maybe.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's toying
Come
with him,
on.
isn't he? Yeah, he says, go on, show me.
Ah, you fish, you.
Simon knew.
And you see John try to cover his mouth to stop
Yeah.
from laughing.
Simon says you
Catch
fish,
that.
but Simon knew, I think, really, that John wouldn't be trying anything fancy. It might be the other way round, if it's in the roles reversed.
Yeah.
Simon